When you first log into your Enerati account, you'll be taken to the locations page. The locations page shows you all the locations that you currently have assigned to your account. And from here you can go ahead and choose these individual locations, or you can edit them, or you can even add new locations through the Add Location wizard. Pay special attention to the little green check mark and the timestamp that's given here. This is continuously updated. So it shows that you're getting live data, and if there's a red X there, that means that you're not getting live data, and you probably want to check into the reason why it's not getting live data. So let's go zoom in into one of these accounts. This is our Seattle warehouse location, and once you click on the name, a new dashboard shows up. When the location dashboard opens, you're shown a great deal of information regarding this location. On the top part, you'll see the name of the location and the current timestamp, which shows the last time it received data. The green check mark shows that it's getting live data. The center part shows real-time data, and right now the last data point was 1,783 watts, or 1.7 kilowatts, and it shows the average for this hour being 1,810 watts. And the reason we use this metric is to give you a real-time indication of how well you're doing on an hourly basis, because sometimes it's you get data that shows you by day or by even by month, and it's just not a good way of showing accurately what's going on a real-time basis. So this hour is 1,810 watts. Well, yesterday, the same hour, we were using 3,822 watts. So we're down 2,012 watts for this particular hour. If we keep going the way we are, we're going to be saving a significant amount of energy for this hour. In addition, we're also showing a calculation for the yearly average energy for this particular hour, and we're using 1,520 watts less than normal. And then lastly, you're seeing your projected monthly cost, which is based on our average usage for the month so far, and gets tabulated with the tariffs that are in effect. So the next part of the screen shows you further details. You can see your information either by units or by cost. You can toggle back and forth between both of them. And so it shows that today we've used $4.35. Our high has been $2.25, and our baseline has been 8 cents. Let me bring it back to the unit level, and it shows you a unit. So we've used a total of 48.4 kilowatt hours. Our high today was 25.01 kilowatts at one certain instance, and in our baseline, our minimum usage for this location has been 928 watts, which is your always on power. Then you can compare this to yesterday. So yesterday the total amount was 146. We did have a higher instance yesterday, but the baseline was pretty well even. Yesterday was 921 watts. For this week we're at 769 watts on baseline, and then you can compare for last week, last month, etc. and so on. Underneath these comparisons, you'll see our trend, and this shows on a daily basis that we're using 5,521 watts on an average basis, on a per minute basis today, while yesterday we're using 6,766 watts. So we're actually using 18% less today than we were yesterday. But when we compare this week with last week, we're using an average of 5,708 watts this week, whereas last week we were using 4,878 watts. So we're actually using 17% more. But on an overall basis for the month, we're down 33% because we're only using 4,808 for this month, and last month we used 7,207 watts. So it shows you how, when you're doing the comparisons by day, by week, by month, how you get different results, and it gives you much better information on how well you're performing and what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. And the last comparison here is our usage comparison, and this just is a graphical interpretation how you're doing today as opposed to yesterday on a total consumption basis. So today we've only used 33% of what we used yesterday, although the day isn't fully done yet. But it gives you further indication. If we are going to continue at the same rate that we are now, we should have 18% less usage today than we had yesterday at the end of the day. If you scroll down, you see a live graph. This live graph is updated every single minute, and it shows you the data points on a 1-minute basis. You can scroll this graph up and down and view it for the last 3 hours, or 6 or 12 hours, or even the last 2 days. You can see the information. You can zoom in by making an area smaller. So let's go look at the last. Let's go look at the last 3 hours, and then I want to zoom in on this area, so I could just focus the map, focus the chart to this, and then I can zoom in on this, and shows you what that I went up to yeah, 9,000 level, and then right after that went back down to 2,200. So you're getting 1 minute data here. If you scroll a little bit farther down, then you have your history graph. So this year we've used a total of 29,164 kilowatt hours at this location. And if I click on that year, then I can see every single month how much we've been using. So as you can see, as the summer months approach, we use more, and then as the winter months started coming in, we started using less. If I go back to October, the next zoom in is on a weekly basis, so you can see how much you did on a weekly basis. And then let's right here, this is October 15th through October 21st, and if I zoom in on that, then I can get the daily numbers, and it shows me how many kilowatts I use on a daily basis. So on Wednesday I use 188.09 kilowatt hours. And then if I want to go even farther, then I can get the hourly information as well to see that. And this is all for this one single location and this one single configuration. On your left hand side, you have all your sensors listed, and you can zoom into each one of those sensors. So let's say we have here office lights. I want to zoom in on that. So here is all the information on this particular sensor, which right now is reading 168 watts. Again, all the numbers get adjusted based on this individual sensor, and you can see how much these office lights are costing. So today it's cost us 9 cents, and last month this set of lights cost us $5.61. Gives you the real-time readings, and once again you can zoom in, zoom out, and see all that information. And all the information is right there at your fingertips. Now if you want to toggle back and forth between different configurations or different sensors, or even we have a water meter hooked up to this location as well, you can zoom in on the water usage. So right now we've used 6 gallons at this location. Yesterday we used 18 gallons at this location. We have a meter reset that allows you to actually reset the meter. So if you want to time your usage over a certain period of time, then you can do that. And since last reset, we've used 130,000 gallons at this location. And it shows you your usage by gallon. Also an interesting metric here is runtime. It shows you how long we've been noticing changes in data. So it shows that we've been using water for 8 hours and 8 seconds. And there would be an indication here if you're saying, okay, well, we're constantly seeing new data, new information. So if you're not using water all day long, that probably means there's some type of leak or something that needs to be checked out. And of course, you can see the comparison, the trends, etc., and so on as well. Data on the graphs can be zoomed in and zoomed out, just like it could be for energy. And this is an overview on the dashboard page.